Hi everybody, the Best Self series is rolling on to part 5. After this there's just one more and then this series is all wrapped up. And I just want to thank you again for providing me with feedback, sharing your comments, sharing really personal stories in those comments. I think it can just be really therapeutic to just read through people's comments and see how they can relate and just take something from that as well as what I'm saying. So we've been through our foundational level of our little pyramid. We've talked about building confidence there. And then in the last video we talked about persistence. Persistence and passion are like the two things kind of holding up the top of the pyramid basically. And I think these are two really important points, and I was kind of thinking, which do I talk about first? Because I feel like persistence and passion are really of equal importance. They go hand in hand. I feel like when people develop a passion for what they do, it's practically like putting wings on whatever that is. It's taking that thing that you love so much and allowing it to really take off. So the challenge can sometimes be finding that thing you're really passionate about. And I think some people are at a place where they know exactly what that is that they're passionate about, and other times you're not really sure. There was a time in my life where I probably wasn't really sure, what is that passion for me? And I think there's a difference between really being good at something and succeeding at something and really having a passion for it. You can have success on paper without passion. I mean, you could be getting the grades you want. You could be making the money you want. You could be living in the house you want. But, I mean, if what's going on inside you, I guess is what I'm saying. We as people have the ability to do a lot of things and potentially be good at a lot of different tasks, but are you really doing what you love? You really have to think about your definition of success. And my sister, for example, she was a very good math student in high school, and I think my mom kind of had in her head, all these ways she could be successful with math, get a good paying job, have a lot of stability and a good career based on that. But you know what my sister loved doing? It was art. She was very capable of being good at math, but on the other hand, it wasn't necessarily what she loved doing and what she wanted to just spend her time doing. Spent years as an art teacher, and now she has kind of taken off making her own watercolors and putting them out in art shows and winning all kinds of awards for her work and achieving success in what she's doing on a level that she might not have even thought she would have reached. And she's affected so many lives, and what's special about that is that has all been really passion driven. I think there are a lot of different stages in your life where you might realize you're not spending your time doing exactly what it is that you love. In high school, you might decide that a certain activity isn't giving you the same fulfillment it once did, or maybe in college you decide to change your major. As an adult, you might want to change careers if what you're doing is something you're not doing because you love it and you're doing it and it really ends up feeling like work. I mean, people make these changes in life all the time, and it's not a bad thing. And I think that's something that's really important to remember. Sometimes I think people stay with what they think they should be doing just because that's the way they've got their life mapped out in their head instead of what they really want to be doing. And I personally think it's okay to change course if that's bringing you closer to reaching your full potential, achieving that big goal that you have in mind. When we talk about realizing your passion, what is that? Just kind of think about what would you do without any pay? What would you do when you let your mind just wander? Where does it go? What makes you smile? What do you just love spending your time doing? If you're sitting there thinking, well, Emily, I just like getting on Facebook, Well, there's actually a career out there in that for a lot of companies. They want somebody to run their social media. I mean, it's just crazy. There is something out there for that. If you're thinking, I just love sitting on the couch and watching TV. Well, what do you like to watch? Why do you like to watch it? What pulls you in? How could you possibly be part of that? What different, careers could you imagine that are taking part in what you love to see? There's just all kinds of things. If you just kind of let your mind sort of wander and think about, what do I really love? What if I have all the choices in the world, what do I like to spend my time doing? These are the steps to finding your passion. And if you're like me, you maybe work off of being inspired, inspiration, and that can come from people in a lot of cases. People can be very inspiring, and in fact, that's how I started my YouTube channel. I mean, I saw a few other people doing videos. I stumbled across a video, I think it was somebody reviewing something that I had just Googled, and it brought up a video clip, and I was watching watching this person, I don't even remember who it was at the time, but you know, they were just talking about it to the camera, and I kept thinking, this is such a fun way to get the information, you know, to be able to just watch somebody talk about it like they're talking directly to me. And I just loved that idea. Watched a lot of videos and decided this is something I can do. This is something I want to do. I love makeup. I love to talk. You know, I'm just an everyday person, but I do have like some tips and some ideas and, you know, reviews that I think I can share. Just that connection between the looking good, feeling good connection. I mean, that's just always been something I've believed throughout my whole life. And so that really is a passion of mine. And I also love the artistic and creative side to makeup. So I wanted to build off of that, and I wanted to be able to help some people. That's really how it began, you know, a YouTube channel that was created by me and continues to be maintained and operated just by me. You know, it's a one-woman show, as many of you who have your own channel realize, you know, that's how it goes. And I mean, I remember being so excited when I hit like 50 views on one of my earliest videos, and I remember calling Mom, being like, Mom, there are people out there who actually care to watch what I'm talking about. And now it's just, you know, I mean, it just makes me awestruck to think that there are millions of people that are watching, and, you know, there have been millions of views on my videos. And I mean, it's hard to believe. I've been featured in magazines like Elle and Self and the New York Times and things that I've read before but never expected myself to be on the pages of them. And I've had the opportunity to fly to New York to meet with, you know, Mally Roncalli, celebrity makeup artist. I'm not saying this stuff to rattle off some list of accomplishments, but I'm telling you what's possible with passion. Because there are a lot of other things in life that, you know, don't take off, that don't go to that level. And everything with YouTube with me, I mean, that did not happen overnight. This was not like some crazy amazing video of a cat doing an awesome trick and then by the next morning it's gone viral and there's tons and tons of views. No, I mean, this is a project that has really grown steadily over the years. And I made videos based on what I knew and what I loved, and it all began in that small little extra bedroom of our apartment. And, you know, I had like the crummiest camera ever starting out, and then the cheapest camera I could find, and, you know, whatever products I had on hand, and I made a few videos every week, and slowly, you know, people started watching. And I remember just thinking, why do they like to watch this? Kind of because I really didn't have a lot of gusto behind what I was doing. I knew I enjoyed it, but we'd been through that in an earlier video. You know, I wasn't owning it, as I said. When I started to see that the things I was doing, people were seeing as helpful and valuable to them, then I started to really gain some confidence through it. Suddenly here I was at the TV station where I work. At the time when I started my YouTube channel, I was like reporter slash producer slash behind the scenes anything, and then I had this growing side business essentially, and I feel really fortunate to be passionate about both. I never would have dreamed this would have gotten to be something that was reaching more than 230,000 subscribers with lots of tweets and Facebookers and emails and just all this interaction happening. I mean, on paper, this is a very successful thing that I'm part of. I mean, looking at the numbers, this is a good thing. But what's driving it and what's causing growth and what's causing it to go places is passion. I do these videos not to play into some kind of numbers game, but I do it because I love making these. I like the creative process behind creating like a video from scratch, editing it out, showing it to people, creating a conversation out there about makeup or confidence or whatever the topic might be. And you know, what really solidified all of this as a passion in my mind, it was not just the thought of I'm telling people about makeup and they're learning something practical that they can, you know, sit in front of their bathroom mirror and use, but it was the sort of the emotional side to all this. It was getting a tweet from someone saying they were having a bad day, but one of my videos brightened it up. A girl who says, you know, her mom isn't around much and my videos are kind of like a companion to her, or the little girl who her mom says that her little daughter is in the hospital and she's getting cancer treatments, and she asked to see my videos because they kind of brighten up her day and put her in a good mood. I mean, this kind of stuff is big to me. Basically what I'm trying to say here is if you have positivity about you, whether that's your career, your sports, your makeup, whatever it might be, but if you have positivity about you, people pick up on that. Think about if your happiness and passion rubs off on someone. How might that change their outlook for the day? You know, how might that make them feel differently and exude a more happy, confident attitude, and then they pass that along to somebody else and make an impact and influence on someone else's life. You're working with your passion and you're letting your light shine. It's opening you up to reach your peak. It's opening up others to feel empowered to do the same. I feel like this part of the talk really kind of started with, you know, looking inside, looking at yourself and thinking, you know, what is my passion? Where do I go? What kinds of things should I really be putting my full focus on? But it kind of ends with, you know, where does it go? You know, it doesn't just end with you. It goes out to other people as well. And that will lead right into the last part of this talk, which is coming up in the next video, finding yourself. The whole topic of this whole thing started as, when I gave the talk, was how to be the star of your own life. And I really think the last part of this is going to kind of put a bow on what we've been talking about lately and give some sort of closure or some final thoughts on how to be the most effective person you can really be. So I thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I feel like this got kind of intense at times, and I just appreciate you taking time out of your day to be part of it. So thanks guys, I'll see you again soon.